Holy shit, Tyson.
He's dead.
You watch this week? He's dead. That's how we're starting this episode.
He's finally
I hope you know,
dead.
What if somebody just randomly, I don't know how they found this, but they just randomly downloaded this episode of the podcast.
Well, then
and they don't know it's a spoiler show. It was very much a spoiler show.
We didn't say who. We just said he.
We just said he.
So this is your turn. This is your time to turn around.
Episode 13.
Turn
Blood
the bus around.
giant. Fucking Clark shot him in the heart.
Yeah, Bellamy's dead. Rest in peace.
God damn.
For the second time this season.
You know, for the second time. This time to actually see. This is what we mean when we say a character needs to die on screen. If he gets blown back, like that's not. But if he gets a bullet in his heart, that's dead. Unless you're Arrow, then you just some tea leaves and penicillin, you're good. Fall off a fucking mountain 7,000 feet. I don't want to talk about it.
You're good.
Anyway, God. Fucking pain. Also, just side note real quick. I know everybody listening is really wanting to talk about the biggest thing that's happened in the 100 in forever. But no, I'm going to talk about The Flash for a second. So,
Flash?
I picked back up The Flash, dude. It's...
Bad.
I picked it up right after Crisis, right? So Crisis, because Crisis I did watch, and I watched all of Arrow. Arrow ended. I shouldn't have, but I did. And then Crisis, I did watch all of that, even on the shows that I don't care about, you know, because you have to see the whole, like, crossover thing. Really cool. I've said it before, really bad in a lot of ways, but also really cool. Like, Crisis was really cool. And then, like, overall, that was my verdict. And then at the end, like, coming back to Flash and watching them like deal with Crisis was really neat. I was like, oh, this is really cool, because like there's no more multiverse, it's all one singular Earth, so they're like talking about all the different changes and shit, and I was like, wow, yeah, that's crazy. And like people on this Earth who used to be their friends are like now they're enemies because shit happened in this timeline that they don't fully know about. They gotta figure it out, and I'm like, oh, okay. It was fun, and I also genuinely kind of just like miss the characters. I'm like, man, look at you, Cisco. You're out here solving shit with your science. You know, look at this guy. But yeah, it's bad. Like, the season finale, like, it's so weird though, because there were a couple episodes in there. It's the classic CW superhero thing that still makes me mad to this day. There were a couple episodes in that half of the season that I watched that were really good. Like, there were a couple that I was like, whoa, this is a really good episode. There was one episode where there were two different monologues, basically. No, not even monologues, just conversations with characters. One was with Joe and with Wally, and then one was with Wally and with Barry. And both of those, they were about kind of different subjects, but they were both, like, really genuine, heartfelt, like, really well-written dialogue. And I was like, this is awesome. But why can't you do this every time? And then the next episode was garbage and doing this weird,
22
stupid
episodes.
plot. Oh, it was so sad. It's so heartbreaking because there genuinely is bits in there that's amazing. And then there's others that I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, the season finale was not even, like, they didn't even conclude the season. Like, that's one thing that you can count on for CW shows is like, here's a season. This is the villain, and we go through, and we end, and we beat the villain, right? This ended and was just like, it literally ended with to be continued. I'm like, this is a season finale. Like, you didn't wrap this up at all. Anyways, the 100.
Just cancel all the
Thankfully
the DC shows and put them on a streaming service. Give them 13 to 16 episodes. There you go.
DC Universe.
And then you profit, because look at Titans. Titans.
I was gonna
actually
say
a really good show, and it's only 10 episodes.
I will say I don't know about that, but
well, it's better than the
Titans,
CW stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it might be better than. See, this is where we're getting risky because it's going off of only 2 seasons. Titans only has 2 seasons. Second season, not that good. And season 1 I already had problems with. Season 2 kind of went off the rails. So
I think what happened in season 2. I binged it and then I don't remember what.
It is better in a lot of ways though, but it also genuinely does do the same kind of CW thing where some of the episodes are awesome and then some of them are like, what the fuck are you doing with this?
But at least you don't have to slog through 22 episodes.
Yeah, it's not as many. It definitely has a lot higher of a production value as well, which is cool. I don't want to talk about it, but thankfully the 100 genuinely, I don't think the 100 does have some episodes that are on and off, right? Some that are incredible, but then that's the thing, some that are incredible and some that are good.
Yeah.
Very few that are just good. Most great.
And some like there's
incredible,
not like really bad episodes either. And most of those we think that they're bad, but then they're really like setting up for something, and then you're like, oh, that episode now makes sense. So
it's a good thing they do have 16 episodes instead of 22.
Because they have to pack a lot.
It's also just that they genuinely have better, like they have a consistent showrunner. First of all, like I'm pretty sure Jason Rothenberg has been the showrunner and like lead writer since the beginning, whereas Flash has exchanged like they just change out writers all the time and showrunners like they don't it's not the, they don't give it the labor of love like this is Jason's project, you know.
I watched the first 3 episodes of The Boys season 2. And then I forgot. So it says like created by Eric Kripke, and I'm like, man, I know that name. Where's that name from? And so I looked him up. He created Supernatural, and so I'm like, wow. That's why. Like and it's just the same kind of.
It's awesome.
So a lot of the same comedy I can see in like both shows. So I was like, oh,
that's cool. You know, so I'm sure everybody tuning in to, you know, this is fitting. You know, they tune in, they're like, the fucking Bellamy, a main character from season 1, was killed by his best friend, and we're just gonna spend 15 minutes talking about other shows because, I mean, you know, you gotta break the ice a little bit. You know, you gotta get into the conversation.
I think the next episode is gonna hit harder than this episode did for me, at least.
I do want to address off the bat that, like, people are mad. People are very unhappy. The internet is very mad. And I just want to say, I'm not mad.
I'm not mad either.
You know, yeah.
Because
I just want to make that known.
Like, it made sense to me in the story, especially with how his character has devolved, I would like to say. Like,
So
it made sense.
I actually skimmed a couple articles and I looked at the tweets of people tweeting at Jason Rothenberg, and a lot of people that were mad are one, which it's so weird to me that this show of all shows garners like this kind of audience, but it does, right? This show has such a weird, like, ravenous Bellark fandom of people that are rooting for Bellamy and for Clark to get together. And that's like why they watch the show. And it's so weird because it's a lot. Like, it's not just a small amount of people. Like, it's a lot of people. And it's always been so weird to me. I get it in some shows. Like, even in Arrow, it made more sense, right? For people to be shipping different characters. But, like, that is not what this show is about, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, they do not have time for romance.
Because like in the majority of the show, they're pretty much the lead female and the lead male of like the show. And so in every fucking show, it's always like, oh, here's the lead male, here's the lead female. Oh, by the end of the series, they get together. And this is why I like this show. Because they don't have to do that. They're just best friends. Like, that's fine. They don't need, like...
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there have been a couple moments throughout the show, a couple different, like, time periods where I was like, honestly, it would make sense, and I get why people are shipping this. But, like, one, I don't, like, care about that more than just the quality of the show. But, like, two, it was now where they were... rest in peace. I'm sorry, but where they were at was very, like, it genuinely did make sense of them being like best friends and how that had evolved. Like, I totally bought and liked where they were at as a friendship and as a relationship. I didn't want any more because that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've just never thought of them as that. They're just always...
Well, you've said that before, and I was like, well, they did have sex once. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a scene in this show. So
that was a long time ago.
It has happened.
And he's with Echo. Like, Echo is still...
Yeah. Well, that's a
anymore.
thought I just had was where I was like, oh, not anymore. Everybody tuning into this who are fucking heartbroken and are so sad. I'm so sorry. We're not doing a good job of being, giving condolences. We're just being like, yeah, he's dead.
No, because he's a bad guy now. Like,
no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
that's
I do.
Genuinely though. That's the thing with why. One, I'm not mad because like, this is what I was gonna say when it comes to, I looked at a bunch of articles. A couple of them that I saw, a couple of writers that I saw that were mad were, I remember seeing this one phrase along the lines of like, this show can't end without a Bellamy and Octavia resolution. And it's like, but why? Like that seems like very much a thing that you're like wishing and hoping for. It doesn't have to have that to.
And they sort of had one, like not this season, but
yeah. But there are a lot of things that people. This is a very. I mean, now we're getting into treacherous waters, right? But this is very Star Wars, it seems, with a lot of people's opinions. They came in expecting a certain thing. They came in with their own movie written in their head, their own episode and season of TV written that they wanted. And that is, you got to know that the 100 is not going to do that. Like, that's, the 100 is the one show you got to come in with an open mind, just be like, tell me what you want, you know?
But that's exactly what these stories and like any piece of media is. If you watch it and you're like, oh, well, I wish they did this. And it's like, well, write your own shit then. Like, that's the thing is like, you can't be upset at a show for not doing what you wanted it to when you didn't have anything to do with the show because it's not your story to tell. That's like if somebody tells you a joke and then you hear the joke and you're like, oh, well, you should have told the joke like this. It's like, it's not your joke to tell.
But that's the main breakdown there is when it comes to criticism. It's like you can absolutely dislike a certain thing and what the artist wanted to tell you didn't resonate with you that much, right? That's fine, but I wish that more people were able to recognize that that's why they didn't like it. I feel like a lot of people come out and then they're just like, oh, it's shit. It's garbage. Yeah. Because of this. But it's like, well, why is it garbage? Like, I don't know. I try very hard to analyze like all aspects of a thing. Like the music, the way it's shot, the editing, the acting. Like nothing is, well, not nothing. There are things out there that are all bad. But most everything is not all bad. Like I, again, treacherous waters, did not really like The Rise of Skywalker. But that's because
nobody liked that.
That's because the writing decisions that they made did not resonate with me, and I didn't like the way that it went, right? But it's like I didn't come out of that going that movie shit. I came out of that going like it's very clear that they did not have a story written for that.
I came out and was like, thank God it's
2 weeks
over.
Before the movie, right? It was genuinely like, that's a little different though, because it's not like, oh, what they told didn't resonate with me. Genuinely, I think the writing in that movie is not very good. But it's like but that's the thing. The writing is the problem in that movie.
Yeah.
The cinematography is still very good. The visual effects are still very good. The soundtrack is awesome. Like, it's, I don't know. I wish more people were able to like break down certain bits and realize like The Last of Us Part 2 is a good example. I didn't love that game, but I did like it, and I did really like that game, and I completely understand how someone could adore that game and how someone could hate it. That is very much like, here is our story that we're going to tell you, and it didn't exactly work with me the way that I think they wanted it to.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff didn't resonate
with me. Like, I liked that game, but I just didn't love it. And that's not any fault of the game. Like, that's a good example of, like, that's the story that they wanted to tell. I don't think that game is written badly at all. I don't think the writing and the storytelling is bad. I don't think, like, almost any aspect of that game is bad. I think technically it's incredible. But just personally, the story didn't exactly resonate with me, like, 100%. So it's like, I don't know. I wish that more people, again, this is very cursory glances of what I've seen of the internet reaction to this, but I get that people are mad, but I just hope that people can, like, step back a little bit.
Life's too short. Get it, pun intended.
But I also do.
Bellamy's dead.
I do understand that a lot of people are mad because they're sad because a character that they love died. You know?
I guess, but like
and I gotta be more.
This is the breaking the. I don't know. It's not the fourth wall. It's just like breaking that attachment. It's like it's a TV show, and it's like I know that like yes, he's not. He's technically not dead. Just go back and watch the first season. That's, if a character that you love dies, that works,
though.
Yeah, you go back and you're like, oh look, he's right there.
But they're mad because his character is not going on. It's not that they're just like not able to see him because they can go.
Well, like
find
you kind
Bob
of saw
Marley's
it. I don't know. I kind of
Instagram.
saw it coming. Not even in this episode, but just before. Like just from. It's like there was no coming back from his side. Like there's no wavering, and so it's like something's got to happen with him, and I'm like, but what could to make like nothing's gonna make him snap out of this. He saw Clark. He saw like what could he have seen to make him come back down to like Earth? There was like nothing.
It's still, I mean, there could have been. I think we talked about this a little bit last episode because it's like I feel like there could be some sort of like here is genuine proof that this is not real. And if he saw that, I feel like Bellamy would like he's still him. Like I think they did the episode of him turning really well to show that like it wasn't completely just blind. It's not blind faith. Like it's partially blind faith, but like there is reasoning to it, and he is still Bellamy, and he's the one that usually is first to question and stuff like that. So I feel like if there was some sort of proof like that, it would snap him out. I didn't feel like he was.
Here's what I don't get.
Gone.
Why don't they just send everybody to the mountain?
Yeah.
And then like, because like Bellamy was reluctant to climb the mountain in the first place, and then now so it's like, why wouldn't you just send everybody so that?
Yeah. That's
problem solved.
That's possible. The mountain is it'll convert everyone magically. It's just send them all there, and then they'll come out willing disciples. You know. Okay, so I guess we should probably talk about the episode in general, but goddamn, I went back and because I watched the episode last night. I went back a couple of minutes ago before we started this, and I watched the end scene again because I really wanted to remind myself about that. We'll talk a little bit more about it when we get there. We'll talk about the actual scene, but we should go through the episode. You know, actual Tyson and Teddy Talk the 100 style. So starting off, we start off right where we left with everyone, where they're all together. They're all in the throne room, right?
Like when shows do that.
Yeah, me too. Clark and Gabriel very quickly figure out that is not Russell, which is... It's so weird. This whole like catching each other up, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like what a fucking crazy season.
Yeah.
So much shit has happened, and a lot of people don't even know. And
on like different
were gone for like
different
10
planets,
years, and some were gone
and it's just like what? Yeah.
It's such a weird season. But yeah, they quickly figure out that it's not Russell. I wrote down the quote. I don't know if the quote is exactly correct, but Bill like goes up to Shade Hader and is like, I think he says something along the lines of, normally I would relish at the opportunity to recruit your forces to the cause, but right now I have neither the time nor the patience to deal with your tribalism.
Yeah.
And then I think he calls it your something tribalism, like an adjective. But and then I think he does like this. He does like a watch the video version if you don't type in on YouTube Tyson Teddy Talk 100. But he does like an opening his arms kind of thing, and then fucking all the invisible disciples and kill like all of the forces surrounding Shadeheda, except for him and Indra. And they say later they only spared Indra because she wasn't armed. Yeah. It's like, okay, that's a nice little.
It's like also
nice
because she's
excuse.
a lead on the show.
yeah. But it was good. Yeah, my note in all caps. Then fucking shoots all of them. God damn.
I just love like the answer to every problem most of the time is like, oh, invisible soldiers.
Oh my god.
It's just like it's so easy. Dude. It's so easy to be like, well, how are they going to get out of this? Oh, there's just a bunch of invisible guys here too. And it's like, oh, okay.
Let's see. An invis dude fucking stabs Shadeheda. This is what I wrote. This is a jumbled mess of a note. I said an invis dude fucking stabbing Shadeheda mixed with Clark asking about Maddie and Gaia and Indra being like, we thought Gaia was with you. All of this is so fucking perfect for all of these worlds colliding for like the whole season. Like all of those moments were so good of like them catching each other up. And yeah, Gaia still fucking gone.
I wonder like
episode.
Is that just because like is
Gaia and the one disciple.
Is there gonna be like a purpose to that, or is it just she's just missing?
They're gonna come back to it. Like I remember early in the season where we kept being like, there's no way they come back to all of this. There's so many fucking threads. Yeah. There's so many plot threads. And then so far, they have come back to a lot of them. Yeah. Like there aren't that many left. It's crazy how they didn't just forget, but maybe we're forgetting and maybe they did forget some, but they have at least come back to a lot of them. That's for sure. Let's see. The way that Bill talked to Shadeheda was fucking terrifying. I want to point that out.
Well, because usually you see like Shadeheda as the alpha.
Yeah.
And then now there's this new guy who just walks in, not even intimidated by him a little bit. And so that's why it's like, that's even more intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah. He gives them the whole deal. He's like, you're going to let me walk around this place? I'm not going to fucking see anyone. And if I do, he was like, I hope you accept this deal. If you don't, I kill you or something like that. And then he was like, all right, sounds good. And
that's a good deal.
I was like, holy shit, dude. Yeah. Then we cut over to a lot of the people in the bunker. I said Maddie and Soccer Kid in the bunker. I think the character has a name, but I'm just calling him Soccer Kid.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah. I said there's a super cute doggo. There's like a little dog down there.
Where did the dog come from?
I don't know.
This is the first time we've seen a dog on the show, I feel.
I also started in my head theorizing of like, because they were petting the dog. And then she's like talking to the other kid
that's
that
Russell's
like
dog.
says something. Yeah, she's like, that's Russell's. I think that's what I was going to point out about this small little interaction is like the Soccer Kid, Maddie, and then another kid far off is like, that's Russell's dog. He wouldn't want a cog petting it, which is like the like Children of Gabriel term that's like not, I'm pretty sure not good. But yeah, and then, I don't know, I thought that was a very interesting thing to still kind of remind of like these different factions. Like that's clearly a kid of like a follower and then the Children of Gabriel kid and then Maddie, like there's so much shit always happening. But yeah, then this is where my brain went. You're like, where did they get the dog? My brain was like, how do they all know to pet the dog? Is that instinctual? Is that just something that we know as humans? Because otherwise,
it's not even like to pet
or is
the
that
dog.
A society thing? You know?
I think it's just an emotional thing. Like you would see this creature, and then it's cute, and so you want to touch it.
Yeah, I guess. But part of me was like, is that something that we just learned from society, that dogs like being petted? Because what if you go to pet the dog and they don't like it? Like, you don't know. You don't fucking know. But in my head, I was like, so Maddie is from Earth.
Yeah.
And she was like 5-ish when she met Clark, and Clark was from a space station that didn't have any dogs.
They probably had
taught her
stories,
about the history
though.
of the world, though.
Yeah.
So I guess Clark knew about petting dogs, and maybe she told Maddie about.
Were there no?
And then I was like, but what about this Children of Gabriel kid and this? How do they know about dogs? But I guess the dog was there, so they knew about dogs at least because it was there the whole time. But.
Were there no
down a whole rabbit hole.
Were there no dogs on the space station with Clark?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't think so. They would have fucking eaten it. Like the show starts with like, we're running low on supplies. We gotta rewatch this whole show, man. Fucking season 1 is crazy. Oh my god. Let's see. Yeah, Kane was like an asshole for a long time. Like he was not a good dude. It's crazy. Everyone is hungry. They're all depending on Murphy. Maddie's like, if we're depending on Murphy, we're screwed. No offense. And Amori just kind of laughed.
I thought she was gonna say something, but she was just like, yeah, that's a good joke or whatever. Like, let's get over it.
Might not be wrong. Let's see. Disciples and Clark are outside. They're headed to the flame. Murphy tries to call out Bellamy for playing a part, which I thought was interesting. And Bellamy's like, nah, dude. Nah.
This is me. Not for much longer.
This is who I am now. And Murphy gave a very like, okay. And like went up to the front of the pack and started talking with Raven and Clark and was like, what the fuck? What the fuck, guys? This whole any bit with Raven and Murphy are like
right
catching
here,
up
is perfect.
is really good. Let's see. Yeah, Raven and Murphy have a little. Oh yeah, so Murphy
Back to
comes up
back.
and when they have a little back and forth in a minute, but I forgot the quote I was gonna point out is when he comes up to Clark and them, he's like feeling a little out of the loop, and Clark's like, the feeling's mutual. Like, they're all like, yeah, this is weird. But yeah, Raven and Murphy then have like a little back and forth where they're each basically complimenting each other on how good of a job they did.
But like sarcastically.
How bad of a job.
Yeah.
It was good. I really liked the Raven and Murphy's interaction this whole time.
See, I'd be upset if they kill Murphy off because his character arc has gone so good. So it's like,
if
yes,
they kill Murphy or Raven or any of them, I would.
I mean,
I
Raven.
don't know, anyone else, any
Raven,
of the
I
main
could
characters,
see.
I would revolt.
Raven,
Like,
I could see at the end of this season, she can make a sacrifice. Maybe not they kill her, but she sacrifices herself for all of mankind.
No, don't do it, Jesus Christ. Because Raven is the one character. It's like a joke on the subreddit of like every fucking season they put her through some shit.
Yeah.
Like Raven only ever
that's, like,
deals
really,
with torture.
Really hit her hard. I feel that it's like actually like affected her.
Yeah.
So
there's a scene later with Raven that was really cute and I liked it a lot. Yeah. Let's see. They send Clark out to go get the flame by herself. I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but I guess they were like, it'll be faster.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but she goes out. She goes to find it, and they just chill, make camp and whatnot. Then it cuts back to Indra, Gabriel, and Shade Haida all together. I was like, oh, nice to see Josephine. Yeah, Josephine's there in Gabriel's mind. And then the main bit of information that we get from this, the red sun eclipse on its way. We got another eclipse. And Tyson, I know you're a huge fan of eclipses, so
it's just the perfect storm. It's like all this shit happens, and you're like, oh, how are they gonna get out of this? And oh, let's just throw. Everybody's about to go crazy. It's just like, okay, cool.
It's just an extra layer. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the preview for this episode, they were like, oh, another eclipse, and I was like, God damn it. I don't want to have to deal with this. Not right now. There's so much shit going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to deal with this. But I will say, after having seen the episode, it doesn't actually play a huge part. It really only plays a big part in Gabriel. Like otherwise the main characters get down in the bunker, don't really deal with it.
Yeah.
Like
there's some bugs.
Except for Raven for a bit, I think.
There's some bugs that we see kill a whole bunch of soldiers. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
Then the bugs go away.
Some of the disciples start losing it. But, like, I was glad that it was not a big focus or anything.
Yeah.
Nothing super major happened. Let's see. Murphy and Raven are back. We cut to them. They're around a fire. They're chilling. They're talking. Again, I don't have any of the dialogue written down for this scene, but I love Murphy and Raven talking about all this shit. It's so good. Like, they're fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Bellamy and Bill have a nice little talk about how hard it is to believe in something when everyone you love doesn't understand. And I actually did like that, like, layer of storytelling of him, like, sending Doucette away and then talking to Bellamy of, like, I get it. You're in a very similar position to me where you, like, chose this, where we pretty, like, he admitted basically to, like, hey, I mean, we just indoctrinate everybody from a young age. They don't really have much of a choice, right?
Yeah.
But you have a choice, and I get that that's different, and I get that that's weird. I did like that. I like that little.
What I don't understand is because Bill's like saying you and I are different from everybody else because yes, we've like made this choice, and it's hard to be around people who don't believe what you believe in and whatnot, and so
which
like,
we saw
to me,
with Callie.
Yeah, to me, the solution would be to show them what what you believe in instead of them just saying to, like, especially with Bill's just like, hey, just trust me, guys, I saw this shit, and then they're like, okay, yes, Shepard, yes, and it's like, no, that's not that is blind faith. Whereas like, if you want people to believe in, then you show them the proof or you show them what you saw to make them believe.
Yeah,
that's why
I'm sure, though, at least with his family, I'm sure he did try to convince them and did try to show them. Bellamy doesn't really have much time to do so. But yeah, I mean, as we as viewers have seen, we've seen like everything that you can see about Bill's little religion, and we don't believe.
I don't believe. We're still there's something like, there. Bullshit. There's something. There's something, but it's not enough to like go full Bellamy.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know if showing does too much of a difference, you know. I mean,
but I'm sure Bill
did try first.
But yeah, it's tough. Like, and this is skipping, like when Bellamy's talking to Clark right at the end, and he's saying, like, something about you're willing to like throw away this friendship over a familial, like over Maddie, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because
a lot to dissect there. I'm excited.
But he's like, because you don't trust me or something. But I'm like, you're just asking her to trust you. That's it. And you betrayed her like 2 episodes ago. So it's like, how can you stand there and say that and expect somebody to just be like, you know what, you're right. Even though you did just stab me in the back a little while ago, but you said it was for a good cause. But you don't know, you can't explain to me what the fuck that cause is, just that it's a good cause. Yeah. So it's tough to like it's when fair. Somebody says to trust you when there's like literally nothing tangible there.
I mean, yeah, but it I'm sure he also was expecting and hoping she would trust him based off of their history. Like, to Clark and to all the other characters, they are all very much just like, oh fuck, this is weird. You're not Bellamy. They're very much disassociating him now from him then. Whereas for him, he's literally like, no, I mean, I'm still me, but I've changed, and I still really hope you can trust me because I am still me, and we have been through a lot together.
But then I think he would have done the first. He wouldn't have done the first backstabbing. He wouldn't have been like, oh hey Shepard, she just lied to you. Instead, he would have talked to Clark after they left and said like, okay, no, you need to tell him the truth, and here's why. Instead of just like pulling the rug from under her and just be like, hey, fuck you guys, Shepard, she just lied to you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can see that. Let's see. We're Yeah, now it's Red Sun time. I think I literally wrote in all caps Red Sun motherfuckers. and then
bugs.
then it cuts down to down in the reactor. They establish that the Red Sun toxins can't get in there. Oh shit, Nikki is loose. Nikki like grabs the dad of the follower kid who talked earlier and who got to pet the dog. And which, you know, in hindsight, very nice how they set up that kid and how that kid's the dude's son and all this. But
pretty much the dad who loves Murphy.
Yeah, the dad who's still being like, I'm glad I trusted you. Still very much not learning his lesson about trusting blindly. But yeah, she's like, Amori starts like doing stuff and she's like, stop what you're doing, or in 3 seconds this kid's fatherless. I was like, my God, Nikki. But then Amori like turns off the lights, and then Nikki's like on the ground when the lights come back.
Not just the lights, but the shield,
the power
for the whole was it Sanctum?
Yeah. This is a weird moment in hindsight, but I wrote down, I was like, soccer kid for the win. You know, good for you, man.
He doesn't have any lines in this episode, I don't think.
With a wrench. No, I don't think he has a single line.
Didn't say a single word, but...
Oh my God. But they gave him a moment.
They gave him
knocking out Nikki. Yeah, gave him the wrench moment. Let's see. Murphy, Raven, Bellamy, and the disciples talk and are like, "Oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here." And Bill's like, "Not until I have the flyer." And I was like, "Bill, you're a fucking idiot. Listen to even Bellamy's telling you gotta go." But yeah, they decide to like head to the bunker. Let's see. Now we're with Gabriel. Gabriel is following his Josephine hallucination. He's up there with Jackson, like in the palace, basically trying to evacuate people, I believe, to get them to safety. Gabriel goes and starts trying to make like antitoxin, all the while talking to hallucinated Josephine. I love this moment of Jackson being like, just tell me Nate's okay. Tell me if Nate's okay. And Josephine goes, you have no idea who that is, do you? And I was like, that is so a nod to the audience because I don't know who Nate is. And
I didn't know either.
Jackson's like Miller. And then it's like both. Yeah, both Gabriel and me were like, oh, that's okay. Yeah, I do remember that. But it was such a good moment of like, the writers know that they very rarely ever call him Nate. He's just Miller. So I love that. That was really well done. But they decide to make the antitoxin. But they only have like one dose and he gives it to Jackson. He's like, I'm used to working under it.
It's like, yeah, I want to talk to my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what that is. But he gives it to Jackson. He was like, I need somebody helping me. That was his reason. Let's see. We go back to the reactor. All the dudes out in the front, all the One Crew dudes are trying to get in. They're trying to like fucking ram the bunker door. And then the like big old bug bat dudes come flying in and get them. Then the disciple group shows up. Let's see. I believe the disciple like shoots a hole in the door basically.
Yeah.
This laser. And then
Murphy walks through.
They go in. Yeah, Murphy is the first in. But Amori and all of them, Amori and Maddie all still think that it's the One Crew dudes getting in. But yeah, he was like, hey, good guy. Good guy. Or something like that. Yeah, Murphy comes in. Let's see. Murphy and Amori reuniting along with Raven was like a really good moment. Along with Maddie and Clark reuniting was fucking great. But then the note that I had about all of this was like it's a lot of people like reuniting, and then the second like Bill walks down and just like puts his hand out, it's like, give me the fucking flame. And it's like the tone shifts immediately. And it's not just like the music or the way it's shot, which it also is, but it was the acting of everyone. Not only like Maddie and not Maddie, not only like Clark and John, who knew what was going on, like all the other characters who didn't know what was going on, who Bill was, they just knew that shit was up. And I thought they all portrayed that so well to a moment of light.
Yeah, somebody like giving Clark orders instead of like the other way around.
Yeah. I really like that moment. Let's see. Indra, and we go back to Indra and Shade Hada. They're talking in Grounder. What was it? He's like trying to help Indra in a way, and she's like, "What? So we're friends now?" He's like, "The enemy's enemy is my friend." He's like, "You know what they say?" And she was like, "Well, first I kill my enemy's enemy, and then I kill my enemy." And I was like,
it was like cheesy, but it was good.
It was cheesy, but immediately the look on Shade Hada's face was like, "Oh fuck."
Oh damn. Yeah, I can't talk my way out of this one.
I'm not getting out of this one. And then let's see, we go back to the reactor group. Maddie said, "I don't think you should have given them that." See, here's a plot thread from forever ago that we're like, there's no way they come back to this, but they're coming back to it. Maddie's like, "I don't think you should have given him that." Clark asked why. She said, "I remember things." And then Clark's like, "Your sketchbook?" And then she was like, "Yeah. I wrote in my notes, is it finally happening? Are they finally tying this plot thread up?" They are, but not yet. That's not just yet. Another little.
Well, they're giving us some more stuff to digest on.
It's so crazy. Oh my god. But yeah, they're gonna get to that, especially with the importance of the sketchbook later in the episode. Let's see. Amori has a little reunion with Bellamy, which was kind of heartbreaking, to be honest. Yeah.
Pretty much everybody's reunion with Bellamy is terrible because they're so happy to see him and he could give no fucks.
Yep.
He's just like, for all mankind, who cares about you? That's it.
Yeah, it was very sad. Amori had like such a heartbroken look. She was like, "No, Bellamy." Let's see. So Raven's in the room where she was controlling where she locked the prisoners in and where Hatch died and all that. She sees a leak spring. This is what, honestly, I thought that was a hallucination, but in hindsight, I don't think it was. Now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I originally was like, "Oh, red sun, she's seeing a leak spring." But yeah, she goes in there. And then Nikki finds her. This is a weird thing in hindsight because this whole time I was like, none of this could be real. This could all be. I was like,
that's true.
In my head, I was like, I think the leak is a hallucination, but Nikki's probably real. But she also could be a hallucination. Who knows? Yeah. But then it turns out that I think none of it was.
It was all real, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Nikki comes in and starts like threatening her. She very much sees how much Raven does regret what she did and how much guilt she's carrying. And then she was like, "I have a better idea. You have to live with what you did." And I was like, okay, that seems a little cheesy, but
and a little bit of a cop out. It's like
a little bit of a cop out.
But I do like I like that. Well, I don't like that Raven has PTSD about like this whole thing. But this is the one, like, stuff gets done to Raven throughout the show. We've said terrible things have happened to Raven, but this is like the first time where like she's kind of had to control the terrible things, and it's been done to other people, and that's like weighing heavily on her. And I do like that it's not just a throwaway. Like that happened, what, episode 2 or 3?
Yeah.
And I like that it's not just like, oh yeah, that shit happened, now we're just gonna go back to happy-go-lucky Raven. It's like, no, like she's actually like changed by this. I like that they're still keeping with that like theme.
Yeah, for sure. This next moment is a moment I really like too. Nikki walks out, and I think, I don't know, it was one of the group all like spots that, and they're like, I think it might have been Clark. I think one of them actually said Raven. they're like, oh shit. And then like all of them, I think it was Amori, Murphy, and Clark all like run into the room where Raven is. And she's just like on the floor crying. And they all like kneel down and hug her. I'm like, oh my God.
That's why none of those characters can die.
Yeah.
Those ones can't.
I'm with you.
Everybody else is good.
But yeah, dude, I was like, man, this is such a good moment. And it was very fitting, and I don't know, it worked really well. I like that. That was probably my favorite moment of the episode, all things considered. Let's see. And then it goes back to Shade Haida and Indra. Indra's trying to escape. I love their dialogue here. It's so good. Shade Haida is still being antagonizing, but he does help her. You know, like he's trying to help, but he's also.
But he's helping. But he's like helping with ulterior motives always.
Yeah, 100%. But Indra realized that he was helping, and she like took advantage of that. She was like, keep the guard distracted for a second. She's almost through, and then she like this whole thing is Shade Haida's hoping that Indra gets through, and then because he helped her, she'll save him. Yeah. That's what he's hoping. So he's doing every little thing to help her. But it doesn't work out, as we'll see. But yeah, she's like distract him for a second, like keep him talking or something, and then she breaks through. And this fight scene might actually be my favorite moment of the episode. I know I just mentioned another one. It's so good. Yeah. It's so like it's shot and edited so quick, but it is clear. Like if you look, you can see what's happening. Like she very quickly like slices multiple dudes' throats or whatever. And then there's basically one guy left, and she's like trying to get to him really quickly before he puts the helmet on. And then the second he puts his helmet on, he goes invis, and she's like, damn it. And then how does this fight happen? I think she dodges some bullets for a bit, which sounds more ridiculous than it actually was. But then for like a second, and then she's kind of like watching and listening, and then I think Shade Haida is the one to spot it, to spot that the dude's behind her, and he's like, Indra, behind you now, and she turns, slices his fucking head off, and it was great. But yeah, that scene was done really well. I really liked it a lot. After this is when shit's getting real.
Down into the meat of this. Well, we still don't really like this is it's that what I was talking about before, where here's the plot, and then they kill the plot, and then it's like, oh, now how are they going to like resolve things? Yeah, like how are they going to keep going?
How is the show going to keep going after?
I forget. I've thought of this once before in another season of this show, where it might have been like 3 seasons ago. It was something with like the Nightbloods. It was the season where it was before the time jump. There was something happened in like the last handful of episodes where there was a clear direction the plot was going. And then like the one thing is just like, nope, that's not working anymore.
Never mind.
Like, but then,
and then you're like, what are you doing next then? Like, what's the rest of the season? That's so definitely happened before on this show for sure. And yeah, that's a good point. Like, okay, so this next bit, let's see. I do want to talk about what Indra did to Shade Haida real quick. She goes over, talks to him for a bit. Jackson and Gabriel come in after the fight's over. She's like, no one treats him. And then I love how both doctors are like with this is actually this is my note about this is that this is a pretty big moment in this show, because usually all of the doctors that have, like Abby, Jackson, any sort of character that is a doctor in this show, they are very quick to treat anyone and everyone, like even if they're enemies. They're usually doctors in the show are like, I will treat even the enemy.
The Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah. But at this moment, I love how both of them were like, wasn't planning on it.
Yeah.
Like you're.
But like so then he has like the gut wound from the other soldier from the beginning of this episode.
From the dude who stabbed him. Yeah.
So then pretty much he's going to bleed out. Is that that's the
yeah
consensus kind of, I think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like she goes to kill him, but then doesn't. And gives him a little scar. I'm just like, okay.
It's true.
There's like a slap in the face.
Yeah, that was the,
and
that
so
was the goal. It was more
is
insulting
her
than
thought that he's just gonna bleed out?
I think she says that. She's like, I don't have to kill you. Like, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
I think she says something along those lines. She gives him the, I don't know how to say it in Grounder, but the classic "your fight is over." But usually that phrase is said in a very respectful way, whereas this time it was very like, "your fight is over," like rubbing it in his fucking face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, hell yeah, Andrew, let's go. And then let's see. I guess this is when everybody else gets back. All the disciples and Amori and Murphy and all of them. I think they're with them too now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's I think together now.
Yeah, they end up going through the bridge. But they're all here. Gabriel, like the flame, or Bill gives Gabriel the flame and is like, Gabriel's like, I think I can repair it using this right over here. I think we can do this.
It's like, how convenient. This box.
Which is what he got from earlier where he was with Jackson developing the antitoxin. He got that as well. That's where Josephine gave him the idea of like, I think Josephine basically gave, which is his inner thoughts basically, gave him the idea of like, you take the test.
Yeah.
Like,
because you're a Nightblood.
You have to.
So like you can
take it.
Yeah.
And they need a Nightblood anyways, which I didn't even know. That seems like new information.
No, with the flame.
Take the test.
That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like to have the flame, I think you need to have Nightblood.
Yeah. Let's see. So Gabriel goes over, starts doing the thing. Bill's like, it's working. The little bar starts going up. It's I think it's almost done or something. And then Josephine's like, what's wrong? It wasn't Bill. Josephine in his head is like, what's wrong? And then he goes, we are. He fucking pulls out a gun and shoots the flame.
It should have been at 99%. That would have made it even more like sweet. 99% done, and then he's just like, blam.
Yeah, he's like, we are. But before he does it, I remember him like looking to Bill and goes, I'm sorry. And he fucking shoots it. And then he turns and immediately puts the gun on Bill. And is like, what does he say? He's like, helmets off, weapons down, everybody. Or I think he says all of you. And then he's like, right now. Noel's like, oh, Gabriel, all right, let's go, dude.
Had enough.
He's like, yeah, he's taking charge. I said this before the show started, but Gabriel commanded the room with a gun, which is a very important moment for every 100 character. It's a rite of passage. And this is how we know Gabriel's finally made it,
And now, is this when he takes the antitoxin? Like he's done looking at Josephine?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure right after he shoots it and puts it on Bill, and I think after he says all this, then he goes to Jackson. Yeah. It's like antitoxin. Let's see. Which, calls into question literally his logic for doing this. This might have been a complete mistake because he was actually drugged throughout all of this.
Well, he was self-drugged as well.
Let's see. So this is when shit really starts to get real. He's holding up the room. I think he's still talking at this point or something like that. Or Bellamy's talking. Or I think it's Bellamy's talking. And Doucette is over here. And he's like fucking getting ready to go. And he turns and immediately starts to rush Gabriel. And he gets close to Gabriel, and Gabriel starts to turn to shoot him, and Doucette gets shot before that, and it turns and it's Clark. Clark shot him, and I was like, oh shit, oh my god, here we go. And then I think after that point, everybody starts to go through the bridge.
Well, first Raven puts in a code.
Yeah,
but then it's Raven the offline planet.
Yeah, Raven tries to put in the code to go to Bardo to get their friends.
But they're not on Bardo.
Yeah.
Offline planet.
Skyring, right?
No, the planet that's offline. And then Bill's like, I'm the only one that has the code.
No, it's not the same offline planet though. I didn't take it as that. So. Oh my god, if it is, then
I think this is a new planet. I think
I just took it
I
as
would like this to be Earth, but I don't think it will be. But I would love that.
That probably makes more sense. I just took it as wherever the friends last were, which I thought was Bardo, but in hindsight, it's Penance because they sent them all to Skyring, or at least that's what they said. Maybe they didn't go to Skyring. Maybe
I don't think they said that. I think they just sent them away, and so that's why. That's my assumption.
Yeah, maybe they are on the offline planet. I thought they said that they were going to Penance, but yeah, maybe he just took them to a different planet. But yeah,
because then they'd be all super old.
Oh shit, man! Maybe they are on the one that's offline. If they are, though, that's literally tying together one of the very tiny little plot lines that we saw through UI on a helmet. Like, oh my god, that's great.
But I still think that one's Earth. Because there's like, how did they get there?
Can't be physically.
What?
Well, Earth is one of them, right? We've tracked this before?
No, the offline one was I assumed is Earth.
Oh, I think you're right. The offline one is we decided that one was Earth. Yeah, I think that's what we decided.
I think that it has to be Earth.
Oh, God, I'm not.
And that ties a lot of shit back.
Open the document.
I would love it. I would love it if they went back to Earth.
I think we had a separate episode. If you have listened to these, let us know. You'll remember better than we do, and we recorded ourselves. I'm pretty sure we did track all of the planets, and Earth was the one that's offline because
there's Bardo, Penance, the ice planet.
Oh God! All right, I'm pulling open the
Sanctum.
Doc. Well, first of all, we need to figure out how many there's are
5?
Total. I'm pretty sure that it is episode 4 that we learned about this. Okay, 6 planets in a network. 1 is offline and 1 is Sanctum. That's what we knew at the time, right?
Yeah.
So Sanctum, Bardo, Skyring, the Graveyard Ice Planet.
Yeah.
That's 4. Are there any others off the top of your head? So I think maybe we did decide that Earth was 5 because they came to it. And then 6 is offline. We don't know.
Okay.
Are we forgetting one?
I don't think so.
Bardo? No, I think that's it. Yeah, so I don't think it is Earth. I think Earth is probably the 5th regular one. The offline one probably is something new.
Okay. Oh, no, wait. What about the mountain? The mountain.
The mountain planet. The mountain planet.
Yeah.
But is the mountain... Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because there's...
So either the mountain planet is offline... No, because no. It has to be Earth, right?
Yeah. It has to be.
It has to be, I think, because they came from it. But why is it offline? I don't.
Because there's probably a reason. Because like he took it offline. That's my guess, and he's the only one with the code with it. Because if you think about it, he's the one who went from Earth to like wherever.
But like they can't go back to Earth. They left Earth for a reason. Earth is uninhabitable.
But
I know we've done this before, but...
But how many hundreds of years has it been?
At least
Think
a
about
single
it.
100. It's been a single 100 at least. From the cryosleep.
But even over the 2 seasons, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Maybe it's another
I mean, it'll
years.
be like 105 maybe.
I mean, they've based stuff loosely on things already. Like you could easily just say, "Oh, look at Earth's habitable again."
Yeah, I mean, time works differently on so when they go through, they really teleport 1,000 years. You never know.
You know.
Shit, that's exciting. I'm excited for next episode. Shit. Anyway, so okay, we need to get back to the meat of this. So he opens. He turns Planet online, the one final one that's offline, which is actually so dope now that I'm thinking about it. They all go through. They all start to go through. I think Gabriel is like, we're going. I don't know. But they all start to go through. Clark goes last. And as she starts to go, this is where we're at the scene, guys. We made it. As Clark starts to go in, she hears Shade Hada go like, "Help me, and I can help you." Yeah. And he talks about he's like, "My throne." The book, which by the way, super smart of Shade Hada, but Bellamy picks up the book and starts looking at like all these sketches. And basically, oh man, this is a moment I missed. I wanted to talk about this moment before they went through the bridge. After Clark shot Doucette. Oh no! It's not then. It's right here. I got the timing wrong. It's right here. I am in the right point. So Clark comes back and is hearing all this, and Bellamy's like holding the book, and she fucking points her gun at Bellamy, right? At Bellamy Blake himself. Clark Griffin is pointing the gun at him, right? And then she starts talking to him, but she's talking to him in Grounder. At one point, she says, I can't remember exactly why, but she says the line, like talking about, because there are about 3 or 4 disciples still in the room.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll kill them all. You know I will.
Yeah.
Like she's wanting the book that he has to, because she's trying to protect Maddie.
Because basically, like the memories she has can be used to probably extract the information that they could have extracted from the flame. And so if that ever got into the hands of Bill, he would do anything. My guess is he would do anything to Maddie to try and get that information out.
Yeah, including the like mind machine that she knows is terrible and whatnot. But I love the I'll kill them all, you know I will. And it was like, yeah, I know you will, Clark. I was like, I'm with you. And then at one point while they're talking, one of them does rush her. And she immediately, like no hesitation, just pop. Yeah. And then back on Bellamy. And then he was like, hold, stop. But it wasn't like, I thought it's such like little details, but it wasn't surprising to him. He was like, it was very clear in his face that he was like, that guy was an idiot. That guy should not have rushed. But so we're at the scene. I don't have it all written down. I'm sorry, but we're at the scene. They're talking. Basically, Clark needs the book, and he is very like, not going to give it to her. He needs to give it to the shepherd. And the way this is acted is so fucking good. I really want to say shout out to fucking Bob Morley and
there was a couple
Taylor.
I will like this is more on the editing side, but there was a couple scenes or a couple shots where he was crying, and then the split second next his face was dry. And so this is just continuity errors.
Sure,
that took me a little bit out of it, but like I do agree with you.
I took that more of like the tears that you did see from him and Clark both were like it's one of those intense moments where like you're not sitting there and you're sad and you're crying. It was literally just like
it was like
they
torturous.
are talking and they cannot help themselves, and they're just like super quick tears that are falling down their face.
Yeah,
you know. And I like that there were a couple of those throughout. I didn't necessarily track the level of moisture, but it was one of those things where they were like, whenever you did see them cry, it was very quick. So I was like, I didn't expect their faces to be super affected, but you did see throughout the entire scene that both of their eyes were watering at least. Yeah. But yeah, I wish I had any of this dialogue written down. But it was fucking heartbreaking. You mentioned one of the lines earlier that Bellamy says.
Yeah, it was something along the lines. I didn't write it down, but it was something along the lines of like, you wouldn't shoot me. You wouldn't you're not gonna turn your back on this friendship over a familial like bond kind of thing. And
he did the whole like, see, this is the problem with familial love.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're willing to shoot your closest friend to protect someone you care about, right?
And that would have been true if he didn't betray you.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been true, but you, in the past, like, couple of, I don't know if it's been days since he's been back, but ever since he's come back, he has displayed that you were not trustworthy. Yeah. Like, not in a single way. And all he does is saying, I'm trying to save you all. Like, it's not enough. It's not enough to just say that. Like, he's done time and time again over this little period of time to show that he's not trustworthy. So you can't really take for what he's like, whatever he's saying as true.
I don't know. I will say we'll get to that in a second, but they have this whole dialogue. At one point, he literally is like, "You're not going to shoot me, Clark." And it's very, very clear in his face that he believes that.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're not going to shoot me."
It's like, I'm the lead on the TV show.
I'm a lead actor, okay?
But as soon as he said that, because I didn't see spoilers for this when I was watching, but as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, she's going to shoot him. Because it was at the very end of the episode, and I was like, I'm putting 2 and 2 together. Either he's gonna get shot by somebody else, but like he's gonna get shot.
I'm not gonna lie. So I quote unquote got spoiled for this, but it was like, you know how Google recommends you articles sometimes. I was so fucking mad. It straight up was like, what was it? The headline, and I only saw a little bit about it, but it was like, the 100 showrunner getting major online backlash because of a major character death. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? But it said that, and it had a picture of Clark. And in my head, I was like,
damn.
No fucking way.
That would have been...
Yeah, I was like, no fucking way.
People would have rioted.
Yeah. No. But that I was a little spoiled because I knew somebody was going to die. But yeah, honestly, I think I was with you where that was my moment where I was like, oh shit, she's going to shoot him.
It's going to happen.
But yeah, he was straight up super convinced that she wasn't going to, and which is like what makes this scene even more heartbreaking. And then he turns to the dude. I think he says, "I'm sorry." I think he says, yeah.
Says something like that, but he says, yeah, like make sure these get to the shepherd or something like that.
Yeah, I think he at first says, "I'm sorry" to Clark, and then
yeah, that's right. Because then she says, me too, and then shoots him.
She turns to the disciple, gives him the book, and is like, make sure this gets to the shepherd, and then she's like, me too, and then
bam.
But like, I've seen so many people be like, you couldn't shoot him in the arm? Like, I've seen a couple of those online, but like fucking right in the heart. Like he's dead. Man's dead. Yeah, dude.
But then, so Bellamy. this is the thing. And then she shoots 2 other guys.
Yes.
I think, and then tries to shoot the other guy, but it's empty.
Yeah.
And then the portal's closing. So then she looks at the book that's still on the ground, but then runs through the portal.
Yeah.
So my question is, he told that last soldier to get the book to the shepherd. So
that's
that like
another thing that's even heartbreaking. It wasn't even worth it. It didn't even work.
It's not the information is now still out there.
Yeah.
Like, and so yeah, that was a little confusing to me. I was kind of like,
I've seen a couple people say that, but it's like, it's not a purposeful, I don't know. I guess it is a purposeful decision by the writers, but it's like it's not that, I don't know. I've seen a couple of different people say like, it wasn't even worth it because she didn't even get the book. So why would you make this decision as a writer if she's not even going to get if it's not even going to be worth it? It's like, yeah, but that's the show. That's the 100. Like, she tried. I thought about that too. And when I rewatched this scene, she shot Bellamy. Immediately, her plan in her head was to then shoot the other guards in and grab the book and get out. Yeah. And she turned and got like 2 of them, or maybe just 1 other, and then turns to the last guy, goes to shoot, click, it's empty. And the dude has a gun, I'm pretty sure, and starts to raise it. And she looks down at the book and is like, fuck, and then turns and runs out the portal. Like, she couldn't get it, which is heartbreaking, but she tried, and I don't know. That's the 100. I don't know.
Yeah. Now that this has happened, my like big question is how is everybody gonna react to this? Not like the audience, but I mean like the characters. Like I wonder.
Echo. Do you think about that?
Like I think about Echo. I think about Octavia. I think about a lot of them, but the state that Bellamy was in, like I wonder how they're actually going to feel about it. Yeah. Because like,
okay, so I will say I should read what Jason Rothenberg put on Twitter, to be honest, because it ties into my theory of what's going to happen. So he put on Twitter, for 7 seasons, The 100 has been a show about the dark things that humanity will do to survive and the toll those deeds take on our heroes' souls. We knew Bellamy's death had to go to the heart of what the show is all about, survival. Who you're willing to protect and who you're willing to sacrifice. His loss is devastating, but his life and his endless love for his people will loom large and affect everything that comes after, to the very end of the series finale itself. We thank Bob for his beautiful work over these long years and wish him all the best in his future endeavors. So this part, endless love for his people will loom large and affect everything that comes after, to the very end of the series finale. I think Bellamy is correct. Hot take. What? Drop the mic. I think it's gonna end with fucking transcendence. Weirdly, I think he fucking knew something.
But then that means Bill's
the show
correct.
Didn't tell us. Like, I think there is going to be some sort of weird fucking redemption because, like, I don't know, it's the 100. I feel like they could do that. I feel like that is something very fitting along with what this show does. Like, I feel like by the end of this, they're going to, all of the characters, like you're saying, that would react to this are going to look back and be like, fuck. Like, and treat Bellamy with a weird new reverence because I feel like there's going to be some twist of something that he knew. Like,
but then what? Then
I don't
that
know.
means Bill's right.
That's just a theory, and that's how I think this is going to end. I'll
go the opposite way, and because you said like everything will. Things will happen from, what was that line that you said?
It says, his life and his endless love for his people will loom large and affect everything that comes after, to the very end of the series finale itself.
So
that's why I'm saying it.
Like, no, I'll say like
his endless love for his people. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely think, like, in the last little bit of the lines where he was going like, you gotta just trust me. Like, there seemed like there was something behind that of like, I swear to God, I'm doing this. Like, you gotta trust me. I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, there was something behind that in his eyes. Like, I swear, if there wasn't, I'm gonna lose it.
I hope not. I hope it's not just like, oh yeah, he was right all along, and we're gonna transcend into like light.
I don't mean exactly. Yeah, because that story and that plot thread is kind of stupid. You know what I mean? It's very kind of dumb in a way. But like, I do think it's going to be something like that. Like, transcendence, I don't think is going to be exactly, transcending to light beings or anything like that. But I think it'll be something good. I think transcendence will be something good, something that makes sense logically and is not some religious or even crazy science. I guess it could be like a crazy like scientific advancement or something. But I don't think it's going to be anything religious and anything transcending to beings of light or anything like that. I just think it will be something good that happens.
I can see that actually because of Bellamy as a character, for him to go out as not a villain, but like not in a great place in his like arc. It does kind of suck to have this character go out like that.
Yeah.
So it would be like, even after his death, we see that he was right, and maybe he in an inadvertent way still does save everybody.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm saying. And honestly, that is maybe I'm reading too much into this note from Jason Rothenberg, but to me, that's what it feels like he's saying. Like, all these people are like, what does his death serve? Why did this need to happen to a character we love? And he's basically being like, guys, trust me. Like, you know what I mean?
More episodes.
Like he's doing the same thing. Yes, he's
literally
watch to the end. Yes, like that's what I'm getting from this message. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but if this show ends and it is something like that, that will have been the most incredible thing ever done. Like, that will be so well done if they can nail that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to write the end of the show before it happens. So if that isn't what happens, I'm still trying to have an open mind. I'm not trying to make up my own ending before that. I'm just saying, like, I think that would work if they do find a way to do it. Maybe I don't think that will work easily. That's just what I'm getting based off of this note and based off of the history of the show. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Like the next 2 episodes, like we're gonna like I wrote in my notes a couple of times, like I wish that we would dive deeper into what Maddie remembers, and I feel that like that's literally going to happen either the next episode or maybe 2 episodes from now. Like we really have to, and I want to know. Yeah, I just want to know more about like the information that she holds. Yeah. But it's weird because like wouldn't you think that Shade Haida also holds it?
He does apparently. Because remember he talked to Jordan about it forever ago.
So like that's why when he was like saying, "Oh, I can help you," even though it was Maddie's sketchbook, like he could still help.
That's why he pointed it out, is because I think he knew, about that himself, and that's why he pointed out the sketchbook. I'd say it's crazy.
Just use Shade Haida as your guinea pig then.
Yeah, you could. There are 3
more episodes.
Yeah, three more episodes left in this show.
In this month. And once it hits October, the show's over.
Oh my god.
It's only yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, the episode was a fucking lot to take in. Especially the ending, but I am genuinely probably even more excited to see the ending of the show now. Like, this is easily the most ambitious season, and I'm not saying that they pulled it off, but like, as it has gone, it has pulled off more and more, and it seems like if by the end of this they do end up pulling all of what they're trying to do off, it will be so impressive. Yeah. Like, I'm excited to see the rest of this show. And you guys should, I hope you're excited to hear us talk about it here on Tyson and Teddy Talk 100.
We're definitely excited to talk about it.
Yes. You can catch us on YouTube. Type in Tyson and Teddy Talk 100. You will find it. Search it on all your podcast services of choice. Subscribe on your mom's phone, your dad's phone, your granddad's phone, your uncle, your crazy cousin Bill. And leave a review on iTunes. That's a thing that people say who have podcasts. I don't know how that affects, but apparently it helps from what I hear.
Just give anything lower than a 4.
Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Apparently it helps the algorithm and more people can find the show. What else? You can find me on Twitter at TeddyChinaris, streaming some stuff. Not a ton of streams lately, but they're usually like midday streams these days. So if you're at work and you're doing something, you want to hang out for a couple hours, tune in around noon, go on your lunch break, hang out, and hopefully I have been editing some stuff, so hopefully I'll have some YouTube videos up soon as well. YouTube.com/TeddyChinaris and all that. Tyson, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyson Pellegrini, Instagram Pellegrini_17, and Twitch TPellegrini. I'm also going to be trying to do more streams. I don't know what I'm going to stream, but if you follow me over there and you don't click a bell on Twitch, you do something to turn notifications
Actually, on. The bell is to turn on notifications. It's a bell.
Oh, is there a bell on? Okay.
Yeah, it's a bell. So then
click the bell, and then you'll be notified when I go live, and you can come and hang out with me. I mostly do night streams. Maybe I'll do like day streams on the weekend, but you know what I'm starting, I might start to do is actually like make a schedule and only do it do maybe twice, 2 streams a week. That's a good place to start, but then make a schedule and then commit.
Schedules are honestly fun. Like, at least for me, maybe it's just because I'm a very schedule-oriented person and they work well for me. But honestly, the times when I have been streaming on a schedule is more fun and more productive. So
Yeah. Well, it's the same with like my
would
workouts.
suggest
So I
it.
think it's gotta transfer over.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys can find us in all those places. Hit us up. Tell us if you're liking the show. And we'll be back. I'm pretty sure it's next week. Who knows? Yeah. Last time I said next week, and then it was a couple weeks because of the break.
No, I checked. It's the next 3 weeks for sure.
Next week?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Perfect.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, we will see you guys then. Come on back next weekend. And, tell someone you love them.
Peace.